Hello everyone, this is Taryn with Wonderfully Made Handcrafting, and today we're talking about day 6 of By the Well for God's Witness to the Wonder. Today we're starting right off the bat with some Duralar film, which is very similar to acetate, and I am layering some of this icicle crackle paste on top of it. It does take a while to dry, so I did one layer first and then I did a thicker layer second, which can take anywhere from an hour to 2 hours to fully dry. You definitely don't want to heat set it, or else it won't do the crackling that it does so beautifully by itself. These little die cut birds on a line were the perfect size for my little window piece. Now, these chipboard windows were from the Tim Holtz Ideology Halloween release, and I decided to pick them up because they work perfect for snowy icicle windows with that icicle crackle paste and texture paste and grit paste. You can make all the snowy goodness with them. You can also see that I grabbed that snowflake paper from the paper pack. This makes the perfect background for my window piece. Now, I was kind of staging these birds and trying to figure out how many birds I really wanted. Originally, I was going to use all 3 of these birds, but then I really pared it down pretty fast and just left one bird on that windowsill. That is because I am doing this icicle crackle paste technique, and I really want to see that. And although the bird is the main piece of this window, I really want that crackling look to stand out. Now I'm using that pink wood grain texture to cover up the back side of this scripture card. It was a little hard for me. I really loved the back side of the scripture card, but since I am making like a scene with this window, I really thought that the pink wood grain would look better than florals around the window. I'm trimming up all the edges just to make sure that everything is nice and straight, and then I'm going to make sure to round everything off and then use my Memory Dex punch before anything gets too chunky. I'm really waiting for a good amount of time for that Duralar film to dry with the icicle crackle paste on it, but in the meantime I can kind of get the spacing correct on this bird, so I'm laying that down on the snowflake background and just making sure that the feet are touching the windowsill. So I'm going to drag that back down a little bit and make sure that everything is lined up, and then I'm going to distress all the edges of the card. Now, I really liked how the back of this scripture card had Psalms 8:4 on it, which says, "What is man that you are mindful of him, and the son of man that you care for him?" And I thought that was a pretty important verse for us, and so I didn't want this back side to be too plain. And so instead, I'm coming in with some glitter. Now, I know I've done glitter a couple of times on these Memory Dex cards already, and I do have to say it's best outdoors, but lately I've been putting the glue down on my desk and then bringing it over to my large kitchen trash can and using that glitter duster over the trash can to make sure that I don't get glitter everywhere. And I do have to say that the little paintbrush is definitely my friend with glitter. So it's been about an hour and a half, and now that Duralar film is pretty much dry, so I'm going to start working on it. And what I'll do is I will glue that window down to the Duralar film first, and then I will work on adding that to my snowflake background next. I do have to say that the back of these chipboard windows are slick because it has that like glossy paper on the back side. And I'm also working with that Duralar film, which is obviously going to be a little bit slick. So when I add that liquid glue, what I do is I just press it down together and then I set it to the side so it has time to dry before I move on. I know I won't have room to use the whole flashcard on my Memory Dex card, so instead I cut out that little Daniel 4:3 Bible verse reference so I can add that to the front of this Memory Dex card. And now I am cutting out that Duralar film as close as possible to the window, and I'll be using my Barely Arts precision glue to again glue this window down to my background piece now. And now it's time to add some fake snow. So I grabbed my grit paste, and I know I said in a previous video that it was fairly dry, but I actually talked to Tim Holtz and he said that as long as you add a little bit of water, if it's not completely and utterly bone dry, then you can kind of reconstitute it. And I did it after this video and it worked beautifully. So I'm hoping that that will keep it. I also added some saran wrap to all my pastes. So you want to make sure to get all the air out and press that saran wrap into the paste to get everything, all the air pockets and bubbles out. And that should keep it nice and moist as well. But anyways, I am just using my fingers to add this grit paste to make some snow on this window. And then I also add that clear rock candy again to add a little bit of sparkle. I want to see a little bit more of the cracks in my crackle glass, so I grab my distressed crayons in the white picket fence color, and I'm going to smudge that into the cracks. And once that sits in the cracks, you won't be able to kind of get it out, which is what I want. And you'll be able to see those cracks better. They'll show up against the lighter background, and it just looks beautiful. So since I don't have a numbered pocket on this memory decks card, I really want to make sure to add the Advent day. And this is day 6. So what I'm going to do is spell it out with my clear alpha stickers. And I could have used my outliner stamp, which I probably should have. I do much better with the outliner stamp than my Micron pen, but I didn't for this card. But now I will remember to grab that outliner stamp. But anyways, I'm spelling out 6 with these clear alpha stickers, and then I'm going to go around it with my Micron pen. And then after that, I'm actually going to add the word day with those mini tile alpha stickers. Once I have those alpha stickers done, I will work on gluing everything else down, including the window and the verse reference, and then this card will be done. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can go ahead and follow me over on Instagram at Wonderfully Made Handcrafting. I will link everything I used down below, and if you haven't seen day 5's process video for my memory decks card, I will link that next. I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.